Okay students, so let's continue. We were doing the enchanted shirt and I have to continue. Ralph, one is terribly poor but studious and has never had time to grow fat. The other has never had trouble with his patients. If they recovered, they paid him well. If they died, their heirs paid him double. So the king asked for the qualification, that what are the qualifications of those physicians, and Ralph told that one is poor but he is very studious and he had never time to grow fat. The other physician, he had never faced any trouble with his patients, and he is so good that if his patients recovered, his patients used to pay him well, and if the patients used to die, he is such a good physician that their heirs used to pay them double. Sophists, that sounds very interesting. Send them in. The physicians, Dr. Truly and Dr. Sharp, entered. So the next two physicians, and their name was Dr. Truly and Dr. Sharp. Dr. Truly, long live your highness. Dr. Sharp, long life to you, your majesty. Sophist, oh, stuff and nonsense. We will see how long I live. I know I have got the most terrible disease. If you can find out what it is, then you must say, long live your highness and long life to you. Your majesty, first diagnose what it is. I don't want to look a fool for imagining things. So the king told to Dr. Truly and Dr. Sharp that what nonsense you people are talking. What I want that first you identify the disease, you diagnose the disease, because since many days I'm just imagining and I am acting like a fool because I know that I am ill, but I don't know that what is the disease I am suffering from. So first you identify the disease and only then you can wish me long life or long live. Dr. Truly, well, your highness, we must examine the royal physique. Let me start with the eyes. All well here. Now the pulse. All well here too. Now the lungs and the back. Oh, what's this? Here are the sound of a sound heart and robust lungs. Your majesty, I am so pleased to diagnose that you are as healthy as a fattened yearling, as fit as a beetle. So Dr. Truly, he examined the king and he examined his royal physique. The meaning of physique is form, size and development of person's body. And first he examined his eyes and he found that it was all okay. Then he examined the pulse, that was also okay. Then the lungs, and he could hear the sound of his heart, and his heart was also very strong and healthy. The meaning of robust is strong and healthy. And then after diagnosing, he said that king, you are all well. You are not suffering from any disease. Okay, and I am pleased to inform you this. The meaning of yearling is an animal, especially a horse, between 1 or 2 years old. So yearling, it is a horse animal, okay, between 1 and 2 years old. So after examining, Dr. Truly said that king, you are not suffering from any disease. Sophist, turning red in the face with anger. Really? Guards, take this rogue and hang him from the tower wall till the vultures pick his bones clean. So after listening, this king was very angry. He was not happy and he ordered his guard to take the Dr. Truly and to hang him. Okay, the meaning of rogue is dishonest man, you can say scoundrel, rascal. Okay, and then the king ordered that Dr. Truly should be hanged from the tower wall till the vultures pick his bones. Dr. Truly is dragged away by the guards. Now the next doctor, Dr. Sharp. "Oh, your Royal Highness, let me not delay in diagnosing your ailment." Ailment means disease. "For I fear it is far more serious than I had previously imagined. Unfortunately, my colleagues could not see the symptoms clearly. You see, I am no ordinary physician. My specialization is strange, incurable diseases like you seem to have. Let me examine the royal eyes and the tongue." So now the next turn was of Dr. Sharp, and Dr. Sharp is now afraid because he has already seen that what King did with Dr. Truly. So Dr. Sharp said that, okay, I am going to identify the cause of your illness, and he told King that I think that you have a very serious disease. And he also started examining the King, and he also started, he told that it may be that my colleague has not noticed the symptoms, but I think, King, that you are suffering from a very serious disease. And Dr. Truly told about himself that I am not an ordinary physician, and I have a specialization in strange and incurable disease. Incurable, the diseases which cannot be cured. And Dr. Sharp started examining the King. He looks long into the King's right eye, then the left, and turns the King's head in every direction possible to examine the tongue. "Just as I thought, now your Majesty, please show me your right hand." So first he examined his eyes. He asked the King to turn his head in all direction. Then he told King to show him his right hand. He bends down to take a pin from his bag and prepares to prick the King's finger for a sample of blood. He quickly pricks the King's right forefinger. So after this, he took out a pin. This Dr. Sharp, he took out a pin and he pricks the King's finger and took the sample of blood, and now he was to examine the sample of blood. Surface, ouch, stop it. I tell you, do you want to kill me before I die? A natural health, a death from disease? So when the King was pricked for blood samples, the King was in pain, and King told to the doctor that, do you want me to die? Okay. Dr. Sharp, "Oh no, your Majesty, that was necessary as you have the rarest of rare disease, and I need to make a careful study of the royal blood for a perfect cure." So Dr. Sharp told that this was necessary. I needed your blood sample so that I could examine you, because you are suffering from a rare disease and I need to examine your royal blood. Dr. Sharp carefully plans his next move, as he does not want to suffer the same fate as Dr. Truly. So this Dr. Sharp, he was very, you can say, he has seen that how King behaved with Dr. Truly. So Dr. Sharp was an intelligent person, and he has planned everything very carefully, because he did not want that the King should punish him like Dr. Truly. And Dr. Sharp, after this, he quickly put the drop of blood under the microscope. He looks through the eyepiece for a while and then turns to the King with a very serious expression on his face. So Dr. Sharp examined the blood under the microscope, and then he gave a very serious expression. "Your Majesty, the situation is indeed serious. However, all is not lost. There is only one cure for this type of disease." So Dr. Sharp, he examined the blood samples and he's told that the situation is very serious, but still there is time, and there is only one cure for this disease. He pauses for a while the King stares open-mouthed. Your Royal Highness will have to sleep for 3 nights in the shirt of a happy man. If your Majesty does not follow this prescription, then he will have to look for a successor to your throne. So Dr. Sharp, he suggested king that you can be cured if you sleep for 3 nights in the shirt of a happy man. This is the only solution. You have to search a happy man and then you have to ask him for his shirt, and you have to sleep in the shirt of a happy man at least for 3 days. And if you are not going to follow my instruction, if you are not going to follow this prescription, then surely you are going to die and you look for your successor. Sophists, never, never, no, not ever. Courtiers, ride in all direction and find a happy man and get me his shirt. I will get well again. Ralph, sent out my soldiers to find that shirt. Bring that shirt or heads will roll. So the king ordered his courtiers and the attendants to search for a man who is really very happy and then to bring his shirt. The meaning of heads will roll means he told to his courtiers that if you are not going to follow my instruction and if you are not going to bring the shirt of a happy man, you all will be severely punished. Heads will roll, the people will be severely punished or lose their job. Chorus. All through the realm means kingdom. All through the realm, the king's men ride, but they find no happy man. Many they see and to many they speak, but they can find no happy man. Each day to the expectant king, his men turn sad and empty-handed and speak of the human woes they witnessed wherever they landed. So now the courtiers and the attendants, they were in search of a happy man and they started searching for a happy man, but every day they used to return empty-handed. Why they used to return empty-handed? Because they were not able to find a single man who is so happy and who don't have any sufferings or who don't have any problem. So they were not able to search a happy man. And they came back to the kingdom empty-handed. So next part I will continue in my next video. Thanks for watching.